So now we see the applications of machine learning in security in these three major domains. I would like to tell you that these are the three primary domains for the application of machine learning in security. When we look at the network side, we perform network traffic analysis. So we try to analyze the patterns in the traffic. However, in this type of analysis, our biggest concern, our challenge is the encrypted traffic. Nowadays, even some projects are being floated as well, which can perform machine learning on the encrypted traffic as well. Similarly, another aspect that we are concerned at this network layer is intrusion detection. So we can perform intrusion detection on the logs of a network intrusion detection system, as well as we can also perform deep packet inspection as well. At the endpoints, the host which is running an operating system, be it Linux, be it any operating system like Windows as well. So we can have an endpoint security protection through machine learning as well. So for example, we can have a host intrusion detection system like OSSec, which can perform anti-malware as well. Similarly, over here as well, we will be analyzing the logs for any malicious activity inside the endpoint. And the third and the most important domain is the application. So if we can have any application, we have a web server, we have any web application, we can have a specific firewall for that as well. And here machine learning can also help us in finding any anomaly in the traffic of that application. Now that we have looked at the machine learning in detail and its application and the data generation process, now let's move to deep learning. The first thing about deep learning is that it is a strict subset of machine learning. So whatever that we do in deep learning, it comes under machine learning. However, there is a very subtle difference between deep learning and machine learning. The difference is that it is a specific class of multi-layered models. So what we do is that we make layers of models and to use those layers of simple statistical components to learn representations of the data. The basic foundation of the deep learning is a neural network. A neural network is a more general term for this type of layered statistical learning architecture that might or not might be deep. It depends on us how many layers we want to make in a deep learning architecture. So as many deep as we have in the deep learning, it will be as complex as we make that deep learning architecture. Another important thing is that more and more data is the main thing for deep learning. If we have huge data, we can perform deep learning on it. The basic foundation of the deep learning stems from the human brain. We have to look at the human brain and its most processing power. So one of the most powerful tool for learning is human brain because it can adapt skills and then it can apply them as well. The basic concept of the human brain is a neuron. 100 billion neurons are working together and each one is connected to 1000 neighbor neurons. It is actually the deep learning concept is to build an artificial structure of the neuron, which we call artificial neural network. Here is a picture that shows that how these processing units that are called neurons are connected with each other. So we have neurons at the input layer, and then we have neurons at the hidden layer, which is actually the processing layer. And all these neurons are also connected with the input layer as well. And then afterwards, the input neurons which are connected to the processing layer are then finally connected to the output layer. We can have as many hidden layers as we want, but as I said in the beginning, as you make the deep learning more complex, it will be more deep. Now, one last question about the deep learning that we will be trying to answer through this slide. Why deep learning? What is the need of deep learning? The first thing that we acknowledge about deep learning is that because more and more cheap storage is available, we have now in our laptops the processing power is very good compared to 10 years back or 20 years back. So that is one of the main reason why we can have a deep learning now available to common people as well, because we have more cheap storage available. We can store them in the hard drive. Even the scientists are now working on the DNA for storage as well. Another point is that we have more processing power available to our local machines as well. I'm not talking about the servers because servers are always meant for high storage and more processing power. I'm talking about the end machines, so laptops, the computers even. So as per the Moore's law, the processing capacity of the computers has been evolving. Like every 1.5 year, it doubles actually. So the conclusion is that why we need deep learning or why we can have a deep learning because we have enough data. That is the point that we have established from topic one, right? We have huge amount of data in all the information security domains, right? Like web application firewall, applied cryptography, intrusion detection, malware analysis. So all these domains are generating a lot of data for us. So we have enough data in the security. The second point is the processing power. So now we need to train the super cool, sophisticated, and statistical models. How we can train them because we have the processing power available as well. So, as a conclusion, because we have the data and we have the processing power, so we can process the things faster than we can imagine. That is the main thing why we can have a deep learning architecture as well for us.